Yo, what's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Limitless Podcast with yours truly, Larissa, the host, the bad bitch. Guys, I swear to God, today has been such a struggle to film this episode. It's like, it started off with like, background noise. Then it was just like, I wasn't feeling well, to be quite honest with you, because I've been just having some health issues for the last, I don't know, 2 to 3 weeks. It's nothing too major, but it's like enough for me to, like not being able to do things sometimes. So it's quite annoying. But yeah, and like the third time or like a minute ago when I was trying to like film, I get a call and I'm like, well, I just forgot where I was. So let's start again. Woo! Positive vibes. But yeah, today's episode is going to be about comfort zone. I feel like it's such a taboo topic in a way because a lot of people just avoid to talk about it or acknowledge that that's the truth or their truth. Because don't get me wrong, I have been there, happened there in so many ways, in so many different forms, not just like a whole like comfort zone of like it goes throughout everything. It's just like different parts or different parts of my life and different categories of my life where I was like, oh god, comfort zone, definitely, but yeah, a lot of people will stay in their comfort zone like forever, like their entire life. And they stay in their bubble, they don't grow, they don't evolve, they don't do changes, or they don't take risks because they avoid the unknown. The unknown is bad. It's like something that you try to avoid with everything in your body. And yeah, it's just staying in that known space, in that space of the energy that you've always known, and the people that you've always known, and the space that you hold as your home, that is, it's comfort. You know everything, you've been used to it, and going out of that to, like, for example, moving, or I don't know, like moving in a sense of like moving to another country or changing your apartment or whatever it is. It's a big thing. It could be also with love. For example, like stay in your comfort zone with love. Just like, oh, I have bad experience. I might just stay in my bubble, just being alone. And then you just stay there and you don't take risks, you don't try. And honestly, like it's completely fine to be in a comfort zone for a while, but it's really good for us as humans to keep on growing, to keep on evolving, to keep on making different decisions, and just progressing in our life. Because being stagnant and staying in the same place where you were your entire life, that is, first of all, a bit boring, but also, wow, just I cannot imagine, honestly. I especially through so many things that I have been, I cannot imagine like being just in the same thing forever. Like, especially in the same like negative energy, for example, or anything like that, like forever. Or just, settling for negative energy, or settling for things, for the mediocre things, to be like, oh, I'm too like afraid to go on. Like, don't get me wrong, guys. Okay, I have like things that I'm scared of, okay, or things where I'm like, like, for example, a big thing that I feel like I have overcome is the fear of moving out and like moving into my own place, because for a while it just made me anxious, but now I just feel like I'm ready and just ready to go. So it's like there's many things, or like, for example, with love, like before I met like now my current boyfriend, I we met as like total platonic friends, and I stopped talking to somebody else, and things were moving, and I was in my comfort zone, in my own bubble, that I didn't want to move out because I was scared, honestly. Like, I've gotten hurt by other men so much throughout the years and everything. And like, when I stopped talking to the last guy, I just wanted to stay in my own bubble and just be like, you know what, I honestly, I was just like, fuck it, fuck love, I'm done with it forever. Like, that was like almost like the last curtain call for me, being like, I'm just fucking done. Things, in the end developed and stuff like that. But I was just like, wow. It's like the universe kept like pulling me out of my comfort zone, being like, no, 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 you're not going into that bubble. Like, this is meant to be. And if you fuck this up, I'm gonna fuck you up. I feel like that was the energy of the universe at that time, I swear to God. But yeah, it's completely fine to be in your comfort zone for a while. When you settle. I'm not saying that you should always keep on running and taking leaps of faith and like taking huge risks, but it's good for you to keep on evolving, keep on fucking leveling up as a human, learning new things or learning from your past experiences and healing up like trauma or anything that bothers you, and just keep progressing in your life, being like, you know what, I this has been my life until up till this point, but I'm gonna keep on moving. I'm gonna try new things. I'm gonna be open to receiving love. I'm gonna be open to receiving guidance from the universe, whatever it is. If it's like, oh, trying to find a job and the universe is nudging me, I'm not gonna say no. I'm gonna try and just keep on moving, because like, I don't know, for example, you are your living your life with your significant other, and you both are not growing. You're stagnant. Nothing much is happening. You're not working on your things, or the other person is not working on their things, and you're just like selling. You're like, it's completely fine. Things could have been better, but yeah, it's completely fine. It's, we know this space, we know this energy, and it's all good and dandy, until you realize you're being like, wow, oh God, I haven't like evolved in any way. Like I said, it's completely fine to stay in like certain comfort zones for a while, but not forever, and not for like a fucking years. Like settling for a toxic relationship. Yeah, that could be also, a comfort zone. You could be like, oh, how, Larissa, can that be a comfort zone? But it can be because, you're used to that person, used to the, mental, physical abuse, God forbid, or used to like, things being like they are. You're not the happiest, but you're kind of happy, but you're kind of used to the person, and you don't want to move on from that. You know, all of us have been there, if that was a toxic relationship or not, where we just didn't want to move on, because honestly, it's annoying to start over. That's basically leaping out of your comfort zone, out of your bubble, being like starting anew, being single and having to, go into this world alone, meeting new people, or, trying to find somebody else, or trying to find some love somewhere else. And it's scary. And it's just like, oh shit. Because you're like, yeah, I was definitely, in a bubble for a while, good or bad. And then when you're thrown out of it, it's just, wow, what the fuck am I supposed to do? I had like situations like that with, obviously me having to like, grown up so fast, like having to, be technically like an adult so fucking early. Like when I was at some point thrown into, having to take care of my own health stuff and calling for myself and getting things done, I was just like, it was thrown into it basically. And I was like, holy shit, what am I supposed to do right now? I was just already like, oh, I hate talking to strangers. I semi kind of still do, like having to call people, but I'm just almost like used to it. Like I'm get good at it, okay? But like, when I was thrown into that, I was like, wow, I'm here. I went from, not having to deal with that, to boom there, and it's like probably, a lot of other people have had to be thrown into adulthood and trying to figure out things, because you were in that bubble and your comfort, and boom, the universe is like, well, we gotta do this, I guess, together. And then you just have to figure things out and go along as you go and figure out things and think about things, and make research or whatever it is, which it doesn't have to be a bad thing. I'm not saying that, growing up, having to grow up really fast is a good thing, but, if like life throws you lemons, just fucking make lemonade somehow, or just fucking eat lemon and just enjoy it, I guess. It's just yeah, we've all been by this point, on some certain level of our lives. And like I said, it's great to keep evolving, to keep leveling up, to keep progressing, learning, expanding. It's there's many ways of how we even keep expanding, love wise. It's like we grow as a person. For example, in our relationship, we generally grow and the relationship grows. And when there's like certain moments in our lives where there's just bad moments in the relationship grows and evolves. And you guys maybe like just grow closer to each other, which is usually the thing, because there's tearing and there's movement, and then it grows, it evolves. It goes from all being in one part of your life or one part of a certain growth period to another. It continues, and it's great for it to continue and not to stay in just one way of thinking and one way of I don't know, seeing things, having a certain perception, having certain, I'm not saying beliefs, but like a certain I don't know, sometimes when life is just really tough, we develop certain beliefs about certain things. It could be like, oh, life is tough, or like love is tough, or money fucking sucks, and then we stay in that position for our entire life, thinking that, oh, love sucks, and we never go after it, or money is evil, and then we try to avoid it, which is not good in any way. So it's really nice to keep looking at our life and seeing, okay, so is there anything that I can work on? Is there anything that I can improve? Is there anything that I can evolve in? Because like even like our purpose in life evolves. With me, like for example, using myself as an example, me being a full-time committed streamer, committed, why am I even using this word, but being a full-time Twitch streamer for 5 years. I've been seeing how I'm gonna like work on different things and expand my wings in so many ways, but I haven't because of so many different things. But I was just in that bubble, like holding on to tight onto streaming, onto Twitch, until I burned out and I lost the passion for it. And then I was like, wow, I just feel a bit lost, because I'm like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? Obviously realizing that, oh, wow, let's just do things that I've been saying I'm gonna do. Don't get me wrong, I was doing certain things in between, but I wasn't fully committing to things and fully going and doing and developing certain ideas or whatever it is. I was holding, sometimes it's just really not good to hold on too tight to things, even like, again, comfort zone, like holding on too tight to it, because you're like, I'm so used to it and I don't want to go into the outside world. And but it's good to do that. So with me, I started realizing, wow, this had to happen, because I had to realize that there were so many things that I wanted to do besides doing Twitch. I wanted to work on so many things, and this is the moment. Like this year I was like, you know what, I'm getting everything done that I've been saying that I'm gonna get done when I'm ready, or when it feels right, or whatever it is. And I'm like, fuck it. And then obviously right now I had a big breakthrough where I was like, oh my God, I've been stagnant in so many ways, just staying in my own bubble, thinking that, I was doing and progressing and whatnot, but not in the way that I want to see myself, or in the way I want to see myself in the future, because I was just too slow. I was barely making any movement. So that breakthrough showed me that I gotta get things going now. Like I have to really fucking fully commit to it. And sometimes it's just good that we don't get to like a really bad breaking point. Like honestly, sometimes the universe just, shakes us up really fucking good, because we ignored the signs, we ignored certain things that they were giving us signs for, to be like, hey, it's time for you to move on, or it's time for you to evolve, or maybe this situation is not the best, but we're just sitting there being like, but I'm comfortable. I'm comfortable in where I am. I'm comfortable, for example, like, just not speaking for myself, but like, I'm comfortable being single, or I'm comfortable with this job that I pretty much fucking hate, but it could be better, but I'm comfortable. I'm used to it. I have a steady salary, I have this and that. Or like you're in a relationship and things are not the best, but you're again comfortable. And like I said, people could be like, how can you be comfortable in being uncomfortable? But that's where the, like, in quotation, magic lays. It's like it's there, like being used to things. You're being used to different ways, you're being used to different, certain habits, certain, I don't know, a certain schedule that you have on a daily with doing things, or doing things with another person, and you're so used to it that sometimes you don't look around and you're like, oh God, I'm fucking unhappy. Or like I said, a lot of people, I feel like they just don't want to open up their eyes to the reality of life and reassess things and be like, okay, this is shit. I hate this. I'm not happy with this person. This fucking friend is shit. I've been wanting to go after my dreams and goals. Like, what the fuck am I doing? A lot of people are not looking at this. They're just like, oh, it's fine. I'm used to it. I hear that all the fucking time, especially where I live. I hear people saying this all the fucking time. I'm used to it. Yeah, I know it could be better, but I'm used to it. It's good. It's good enough. It cannot be better. And it's just like I'm like screaming in my head, like on the top of my fucking lungs, being like, "Oh my God, it can be better for you. It can be, just freaking open up your eyes." Please don't get to that point where the universe is like gonna shook you up like it did with me like a week ago, where it felt like a bomb exploded in my face, and I was like, "Oh my God, like what have I been doing?" You know? I just really don't want people to get to that point. But if you do, that is just, it's a big breaking point for you to evolve, to grow, to realize things, to reassess things. Even if you get to that point, don't get me wrong, it's nothing bad to be like, oh my God, I got to that point that she told me not to get to. It's completely fine, because I've gotten to those points a lot of freaking times. And that doesn't mean that you're a bad person, that you're shit, that you suck, that you're not gonna make it in life. No, it just means that the universe, God, whatever you believe in, even if it's yourself, and you're like, oh wow, what, I got myself so fucking far in this, like too fucking far. This has been going on for too long, and you just have this breakthrough realization. But the only thing that matters is that you change from this point on, that you make changes, that you, like I said, reassess the situation. You're like, okay, I've been used to this point. I've been really comfortable in this. I haven't been taking big risks, or I haven't been changing things, because I just, I was used to it. It was fun. That's how I felt with streaming. It was fun. I was used to it. I had a certain schedule every day that I was doing, and I was committing so much time, which again, nothing wrong with committing time and effort and money and whatever into a purpose and into a goal. But if it comes to a point where your purpose evolves with, which I'm not saying that you're leaving behind a certain thing, like for example for me, that I'm leaving behind streaming, it just means that I am starting to actually put more eggs into more baskets, and actually spreading out my wings, like I've been always saying that I would. I'm still gonna stream, but sorry, I am not gonna only solely focus on that, because my purpose has evolved, and my purpose has shown me that I have to do things a bit different. Like I said, not abandoning the first ideas, or the first things that I started off with, like the meanings behind things. It just means that things have grown, things have evolved, and it's only gonna go up from this point, you know? Like, don't get me wrong, I was also afraid in some way. I was like, well, what do I do now that I don't have Twitch? Like, in quotations, I don't have Twitch. I'm like, oh wow, I'm here. And then, obviously making lists, reassessing, meditating, thinking to myself, brainstorming, being like, okay, so what is my sole purpose in this life? And for example, for me, it is helping other people, inspiring other people, opening up people's eyes to see that there's so much more to life. And I was like, okay, so I was obviously already doing motivational speaking through that, but I also wanted to bring like lots of motivational speaking to my YouTube, like even way more than I tried before. And more spirituality, and obviously working on the courses that I want to do and release. And I just saw a meme and that kind of distracted me on Discord, god damn it. But like there's so many more projects and things that I want to do. So again, the purpose is just evolving, it's growing, it's showing itself to you to be like, listen, don't hold on to things too tight, because for example, like your hand is going to cramp up and then your entire arm is going to cramp up, and that is definitely not a good thing, because it's almost like if you hold on to somebody too tight, you're going to hurt them. They're going to be like, ow, god damn it, like let go of my hand, that hurts. And that's, you're kind of doing that to yourself. You're holding on too tight to yourself and to other things that you're not giving it space for energy to flow in, and for things to open up to you, like doors open up to you, or that you even are seeing that there are open doors in front of you, because again, you're holding on to this too tight. You're holding on to this relationship that is not serving you, that you're not happy in it, too tight, where you could have found somebody that would entirely love you and give you everything in this world. Or it could be like, being stuck in this career choice where it doesn't make you happy. Like, for example, if you have your own company, but you are kind of not happy with the things you've been doing, and you're like, oh god, I've put so much into this was all for nothing. Like, I felt like this with my streaming career, and then a really close friend of mine was like, it wasn't all for nothing. And when I think about it, I was like, it wasn't, because throughout my streaming career, I could help so many people and inspire so many people. Like, my brother Rob was just so fucking right in that situation. I was like, after a while, I thought about this, and I was like, oh my god, this is true. Like, I made an impact and things like this. I have an amazing fucking basically setup that I can use for further things now in my life. For example, even for doing covers that I wanted to do, and even music, and even like good quality podcasts and good quality videos I can edit with no fucking problem, because I have fucking an amazing setup. It's still like sometimes in my mind where I'm like, oh, it was just all for nothing, but it wasn't. I made an impact, you made an impact in some way with whatever you did in your life. If that was a relationship that you are kind of leaving behind, now you've grown, you've evolved, and now you know what you want in your life and in your future relationship. If it's like I said, in a similar way of like a job or a career choice, and you're like, wow, I'm leaving this behind, or I want to leave this behind, but this is almost like an identity. I took this on. Like, what am I supposed to do? Just sit down and just give yourself time to rethink the situation. Like, make a list of things that you love to do, make a list of things that you want to do for this world, for other people, or what you want to offer to this world generally. Or if it is like, oh my god, I'm so scared to move out or move into my own place or move to another country, whatever it is, make a list, reassess things, like make a budget, make a I don't know, like decide upon like how much money you need for that move, or where you want to move, and like research about the country and certain things to keep the ball on rolling, like start the ball to roll and just push it so it's rolling and it's going, so you are actually taking steps and doing things. That's how you start off, leaving your comfort zone. It's not just a huge fucking leap. You're like, you know what, fuck it. Sometimes it is, but a lot of times it's just like taking one step at a time and one day at a time, and actually starting off with things, even if it's not like physical things, like physical tangible things. It could just be planning, looking at your situation, being honest, journaling, meditating, whatever it is, where you're like, okay, I'm in this moment right now, I have to think what I have to do or what I should do. Not like, oh, people are fucking forcing you to do fucking shit. No, just be like, okay, what do I need to do right now? What is the universe trying to tell me? What is the guidance that I'm receiving, even from myself, trying to tell me? It's just all about reassessing and rethinking and just looking at your situation. You can always improve, you can always expand. The moment that you're stagnant in your life and you're not moving forward or leveling up in any shape or form, if it's expanding your knowledge. I don't mean like, oh, like school wise, being like, I mean like knowledge about like life, or knowledge about like a certain topic, or just knowledge about certain things, about like, oh wow, this way of thinking was outdated and now I have expanded. That is also going out of your comfort zone. It doesn't have to be like pretty much like relationship only relationships, work, and physically moving from one place to another. It could be just like expanding your thinking, because you were in a certain like, bubble for a while of, thinking about certain things or having a certain opinion about things. And then you're like, oh God, okay, I was wrong. Or, okay, wow, there's much more to this, There's so many different ways to expand when it comes to going out of your comfort zone. It's just the only thing that matters again is that you're not staying in one place for too long. That I'm not saying that you should keep like looking at yourself, like looking for faults and what you're doing wrong and what you're not doing, but just be honest about things in your life, and being honest to yourself about, okay, have I been mentally just not well, and I've been in this bubble for too long, and I've been stagnant, and I've been feeling shit for too long, but man, I have to get out of this. It could be so many different levels of life, so many different perceptions, situations, so many options for jobs, love, to start over with your projects, or to start over with whatever. It could be like, for example, just an idea, you have your own company or have your own business, and things kind of didn't go in a certain situation, or sorry, in a certain way, and but you're like, ah, whatever, I'm just gonna keep on going. You can start over whenever you want. Again, that doesn't mean that you leaving behind your purpose, you're leaving behind your ideas, you're leaving behind basically all the things that you've always known, because even if you, for example, leave a relationship, you still have yourself, and you can find your way back to yourself, or you can be like, okay, actually, you know what, I'm going for this, or you know what, now that I have the time, let's fucking do this. I wanted to do this for such a long time. It feels right, it feels scary, but let's fucking do this. There's many ways of, like I said, evolving and finding yourself, and just going out of that bubble and seeing that there is so much more on the other side. I'm not saying that, oh, the grass is greener on the other side always, but I'm saying that there's always so much more outside of our comfort zone and outside of our bubble, because people say that growth is outside of your comfort zone, which it definitely is. Like I said, it could be like, I don't know, like actually going for that dream that you always want, or for that goal, or oh my god, you know what? Actually, I'm just gonna fucking make an account on this dating app. It's going out of your comfort zone. Sorry. zone. What? Comfort zone, slowly but surely. Like I said, you don't have to take huge leaps and steps. Just that you're in a forward movement, even if it's little, even if it's little tiny steps. The thing that matters is that you, on a certain level or certain parts of your life, that you keep continuously growing and just going and being like, you know what, fuck this, I'm gonna do this. Or being like, you know what, I hate this, I want to fuck this, I don't want to be in this bubble. I know I've been in this bubble for so long, I'm used to this, but I want more out of life. And that's completely fine. Like I said, it's completely fine. And again, it's also completely fine if you stayed in a comfort zone for, certain periods of time, which is completely fine. Like I said, you don't have to continuously be like boom, 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 boom. Even if you are, completely fine also. But again, it's not good to stay in one place for too long. You know, just there's so much more for us to see in this world and to, explore and to read about, learn about. There's so much joy in learning and in expanding, and like so much joy in change. Change is like, again, a big thing that I've talked about that we try to avoid, but change is beautiful. Change can be definitely beautiful. The unknown can be definitely beautiful as long as we're resilient and we don't fucking give up, or we don't, like, I don't know, just stay in the dark for too long. It's all gonna be good, and we embrace the unknown, we embrace changes, we embrace on wanting to start moving on with our lives and with things that we're doing. It's all about, again, I'm repeating myself, reassessing, looking at the situation, and just deciding that, you know what, you had enough and you want to move on, and you want to move on into the scary, I don't know, path that you're taking, which again, it doesn't mean that it's a bad thing, but that you just take full control into your hands, and you look at yourself in the mirror and you're like, you know what, we're freaking doing this. And yeah, that is it. I hope that I put all of my thoughts and all of my energy into this. I hope it helps at least somebody, and maybe it starts a conversation up with somebody, or with a group, or whatever it is, where people can be like, oh yeah, she's making a point. But yeah, I hope everybody enjoyed this episode. Thank you all so much for listening. If you want to stay connected with me, look at my social media, or wherever it's linked down below or on the side or whatever it is. If not, just find me at LarissaThePhoenix on all social media. And yeah, I am wishing everybody a nice day, night, morning, wherever you are, whenever you're listening to this. And I will see you another time. Bye. Love you all so freaking much.